My name's Charlie Lees. I'm an architect at Sandwell Council. I qualified this year in January after 10 years of studying. Um, some of you might sort of know that it generally takes about 7 years to qualify as an architect, but I took a slightly more unconventional route. So it took me a little bit of extra time along the way, but I found these sort of experiences very insightful and helpful for my journey and where I've got to today. So if I start going way back to secondary school, I attended Heathfields Foundation Technology College in Old Hill, stroke Cradley Heath, which is now called Ormiston Forge Academy. I was, to start with, a fairly bright student. I was fast tracked in year 9 to do my GCSEs early, of which I passed. But I think after then, and sort of subsequent friendships and lack of mentorship, I suppose, I sort of lost my focus on education and focused more so on the non-educational activities of life. I left high school with 5 out of a possible 13 GCSEs, with a lack of understanding of what I really wanted to do with my life at that point, what I was going to do next. But I ended up sort of following the conventional route of applying to colleges with a view that that might be the best thing for me to do. So I got a place at Stourbridge College. I just remember knowing that it wasn't something I really wanted to do, but I just ended up on that path. I didn't last very long. I think I lasted a couple of weeks or a couple of months, and ended up being suspended for lack of attendance and stuff like that. I then sort of found myself not really doing much, so I was told by family and friends that I had to go back to college elsewhere if I could and try again. I went back to my high school sixth form. It was the same sort of inevitable outcome that I wasn't really interested. I'd had enough of the sort of school processes and being told what to do and you must do this, you must do that. So I ended up being let go from there as well for lack of attendance and interaction during lectures and that sort of stuff. I then spent a bit of time trying to sort of figure out what I actually wanted to do, thinking, you know, there's no way I'm going to become an architect now. I don't know what I'm going to do. I need to try and figure something out. And I happened to come across apprenticeships, and it appealed to me as a sort of different dynamic of learning and gaining experience in work. So I applied for an apprenticeship through the apprenticeship website, and I ended up meeting with Ellie from the Think Sandwell apprenticeship team, and applied for a job in a local printers in Oldbury for graphic design. Again, I sort of quickly realised that wasn't something I wanted to do, but I sort of stuck it out because it was, you know, it was something to do. It was a bit of money, and in my sort of family and friends' eyes, I was doing what you sort of normally do, going to work, getting paid, that sort of stuff. I think Ellie realised that I wasn't happy at that time, and she sort of sat me down and said, like, what's going on? You sort of seem withdrawn. You don't seem interested anymore. So we had quite a good discussion at that stage, and she sort of managed to get out of the timid young teenager that I was, that, you know, I actually wanted to be an architect, and that's something that I'd always wanted to do. And she said, okay, like, we'll see what we can do. I can't promise anything, but, you know, we might be able to help you somehow. And then got in touch with me and says, we've got an opportunity at Sandwell Council in the architects department for an apprenticeship in business administration. But you could take that opportunity to gain some experience and possibly learn some skills in that area to see actually if that is something you want to do. So I did. I went. I gained sort of invaluable experience working with different people in the team, both in the architects, structural engineers, the whole suite of industry professionals, which gave me a whole lot of sort of work-based experience. And at roughly around the same time, I went to Wolverhampton University with my wife, and there was a stand for the architectural department. When I completed my apprenticeship after the 12 months, I joined the H&D course at Wolverhampton University, and I really enjoyed it. It was something specific to what I wanted to do. And I completed that year with good marks, and they actually offered me a sort of fast track place onto the second year of the architectural degree. Yeah, I started the degree. Everything was going really well. I was really enjoying my time there. I was learning a lot. And in the summer, I think, of the second year, I just decided, I need to go and get some more experience in practice. I think because I'd done apprenticeships, I had that sort of mindset of finding a balance between both education and practical work experience. So I went out to find a bit of work experience during the summer, and I think initially it was for 4 weeks sort of unpaid work, which led on to staying for longer and actually being paid. So they offered to pay me a salary to stay for the duration of the summer, and said, if you would like to return once you finish your degree, there's a place in the team for you. So that's what I did. I finished my degree with a first class honours. I went to work in the private practice in Birmingham it was around 18 months ish. And then I received a call from my current manager at Sandwell Council asking if I would be interested in returning to the council to work in the department again, which I found quite interesting, because Sandwell's a great place to work with great people. So I thought, it might be a really good opportunity. And he came back to me and said, well, there's a new level 7 apprenticeship in architectural practice, which would give you the same accolades as if you were to do your full-time part 2 and part 3 at university. It's still at university, but you would do it on a sort of day release basis. So yeah, it seemed like a really good opportunity at the time. And then I got back in touch with Ellie and the apprenticeship team, and those guys helped me a lot to sort of figure out how it was going to work. And yeah, so I started my part 2 in 2019. And as I say, I finished that in January this year with sort of full accolades and chartership. And now I am an architect finally. I think on reflection, I've learned that everybody's different, and certainly for myself, the sort of the one size fits all proposal to education didn't work for me, so I had to navigate my own way into finding out the best solution. But for people who are possibly unsure with what they want to do, or have an idea of what they want to do but don't know how to do it, I think they need to first of all talk to people that do know, people that are able to give them advice, maybe find somebody who does that job, or a careers advisor, or the guys at Sandwell Council, and just if you get an opportunity, just take every opportunity you can, especially while you're young. I think there's very little risk to doing something and it not working out. You will always learn a lesson from everything. So take the lessons, sort of move on, and then try and keep yourself moving forward and learning at every possible opportunity, really.
Okay, that's great. Thank you very much, Charlie. That's really helpful.
Thank you very
Cheers.
much.
Thank you.